Part 10. Taking stock of the people in the world, starting with the fate of the country. Author, Red Lotus. Chapter 104. In the scene, as the group of people separated, Wukong also followed the agreement and went to learn the skills from Turtle Immortal. Soon, Wukong arrived at the residence of Turtle Immortal, and his practice officially began. Later, a smart little bald Krillin also came to become his disciple. With the help of a book similar to Jiraiya's Intimate Paradise, Kame Sennin also accepted Krillin as his apprentice. So, Krillin and Wukong began to practice under Kame Zenrin, and their first task was to find a beautiful woman. After some twists and turns, Lan Chi was found by Wukong and Klin and sent to the Turtle Immortal. However, as long as Lan Chi sneezes, she will change her personality. The yellow-haired Lan Kai is extremely violent, but the blue-haired Lan Kai is gentle and sweet. In this way, several people began a happy spiritual life. The practice time flies by quickly, and 8 months have passed like this. Here, Goku and Krillin have been greatly improved. The two people who took off their turtle shells jumped lightly and actually jumped into the clouds, which shocked countless low-level martial arts worlds. Later, there are a large number of people who follow the practice of these two people. However, those who practiced with Fenkyu last time are all bald now, but they have not become much stronger. At most, their physical fitness is far from ordinary people. Some talented people can break rocks with one punch. As the two of them completed their training, the 21st World's #1 Martial Arts Conference was about to begin. The world's #1 martial arts association is held every 5 years and is a grand ceremony for martial arts masters, so Kame Sennin took Goku Krillin to attend. Yamcha also came to participate. It was also here that Goku and Krillin put on Kamizen Ryu martial arts uniforms for the first time. The preliminary round started soon, and the process was as expected. Goku, Krillin, and Yamcha advanced smoothly and reached the quarter-finals. In the first game, Krillin fought against the smelly Blackbeard. Blackbeard's special move was the stinky fart, but since Krillin had no nose, Krillin defeated Blackbeard in 0-4 and gave his opponent a kick. Pants fart. This scene also made people in the world of heavens dumbfounded, and some even felt extremely disgusted. In the second game, Yamcha faced Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan was actually Kame Sennin in disguise. He was worried that Wukong and Krillin would be proud of their improved strength, so Kame Sennin disguised himself to participate in the competition, hoping to teach his disciples that there are people outside the world. Reason? Of course it couldn't be for the prize money, so there was no doubt that Kame Sennin won. The third game was a duel between two passers-by, and the monk won in the end. In the fourth game, it was Wukong's turn to fight against the Dragon Man. The Dragon Man was very smart and used a trick to trap Wukong. In the critical moment, Wukong's tail grew out again and escaped the Dragon Man's attack. After that, Wukong opened his restraints and was about to attack. Upon seeing this, the Dragon Man cleverly took out the white flag and avoided a severe beating. At this point, all the top 4 spots were announced. In the fifth game, Klin played against Kame Sennin. The two fought, and Klin was completely beaten by Kame Sennin. However, the little bald man had great wisdom, and he took out a pear from his crotch. Little pants. Kame Sennin was careless and was kicked away by Klin, but Kame Sennin used Kame-style Kigong and relied on the recoil to return to the ring. Immediately afterwards, Gaixianren seriously faced the enemy. He used his Wing Chun sword and tried to cut into Klin's middle. After a violent move, Klin fell to the ground. Gaixianren won this battle. In the sixth game, Wukong fought against the passerby monk. After a fight, Wukong defeated the monk with a move called Ping Shaluian sweeping legs. The spots for the finals were determined, with Goku fighting Kame Sennin. In the first round, Kame Sennin took the lead and kicked Wukong away. Wukong responded accordingly and turned his tail into a bamboo dragonfly, flying in the air. Soon, the two entered the second round, and the turtle-style Kagong was facing each other. Astonishing arrogance burst out from the two people's bodies, and the Kagong waves exploded out. Boom! A bright blue light instantly illuminated the entire land, blinding the audience present and those in the heavens. When the aura dissipated, Wukong and Turtle Immortal were evenly matched. It was rare for anyone to be able to compete with the Sun family without falling behind. After that, came Senin used After Image Fist, Drunken Fist, Hypnotic Fist, and other moves to attack Wukong, and Wukong was not to be outdone and responded with After Image Fist, Monkey Fist, Eating Fist, etc. In this way, the two of them kept fighting from day to dusk. Seeing this, Turtle Immortal decided to use a unique move, the 10,000 Kingdoms Shocking Palm. This move can condense the whole body's energy into lightning, and Wukong is also electrocuted in the air. Even Yang Yongzhen is amazed by such a domineering move. Under the bombardment of lightning, Wukong was about to lose. However, today happened to be the full moon, and Wukong watched the moon change. At this moment, Wukong transformed into a giant ape, defeated the shocking palm of all nations, and began to cause chaos everywhere. Under Yamcha's explanation, everyone learned the reason for Wukong's transformation. Immediately, Kame Immortal exhaled loudly, expanded his muscles, and used the maximum power of Kame-style Kagong waves. In a flash of white light, the giant ape disappeared. Everyone was shocked by the power of this move. Just when everyone was mourning Wukong's death, Kame Senin raised his finger to the sky. I saw that in everyone's shocked eyes, the moon hanging in the sky disappeared. It turned out that the target of Turtle Sect Kagong was the moon and destroyed it in one fell swoop. As a result, Wukong returned to normal and continued to fight Kame Senin. Now both of them had been fighting for a long time. They were exhausted but neither wanted to admit defeat. They both blocked the honor of martial arts masters and began to clash their muscles. After a fierce confrontation, both Wukong and Kame Senin used their last moves, Foshan's deadly flying kicks in a series of flying kicks. In the end, the two fell to the ground at the same time for more than 10 seconds, which was almost a draw. However, Kame Sento relied on his will and stood up first to shout a declaration of victory. Therefore, the champion of the 21st world number 1 Budokai was born, and this person was Kame Senin. However, Kame Senin's 500,000 bonus was eaten by Wukong in one meal. Then Wukong decided to embark on a spiritual journey and used the Dragon Ball radar to search for his grandfather's relics, the 4 planets, while Krillin followed Kame Senin. Continue to practice. After that, Wukong went on the road, preparing to do one good deed every day. On the first day, he taught a group of evil dragons a lesson, and helped the previous passers-by and monks to solve the water shortage problem in his hometown. At the same time, Wukong and the Pilaf Trio and the Red Ribbon Legion were also looking for the Dragon Ball. During the search, Wukong first met Kikai, who was in love for the first time, and the two of them tasted apples together under the apple tree. To read Bao's Huang novels, go to Filu Novel Network. Then, after a good meal, Wukong patted his clothes and left, saying goodbye to Kikai and looking for the Dragon Ball. Soon Wukong found a Dragon Ball and defeated the Red Ribbon Army. Siraba, and then Wukong also took on a mission to rescue the village chief from Masruda. Here, Wukong defeated the Schwarzenegger robot and the Sonic Ninja Zinnik. At the same time, Wukong also met Android number 8. With the help of number 8, Wukong defeated the villain in the tower and successfully rescued the village chief. Number 8 also dismantled Masruda and gave Wukong the second Dragon Ball. After that, Wukong came to the west again and met Bulma. The two joined hands with Krillin to take a submarine to the bottom of the sea. They started from a skeleton. Find the third Dragon Ball in the head. However, a muscular man from the Red Ribbon Legion sneaked away and stole Wukong's 3 Dragon Balls. Seeing this, Wukong hurriedly pursued them, and the two of them fell into the most powerful village in the universe, Penguin Village. Here lives an invincible beautiful girl Aril. With the help of Aril's Dr. Yamabuki and others, Wukong successfully regained the 3 Dragon Balls, and the muscular man was also knocked away by Aril's headbutt. So, Wukong bid farewell to Aril and continued his journey. Then Wukong met the father and son Bora and Upa who guarded the Holy Land. The other party had the 4th Dragon Ball. At this time, the Red Ribbon Legion invited the number 1 Master Tao Bibai to deal with Wukong. Tao Bibai was extremely powerful and killed Bulla in a single encounter. Even Wukong was no match for him and was pierced by Yi Yang finger. Hard. Afterwards, Tao Bibai took away Wukong's 3 Dragon Balls and went back to recover, but Wukong did not die because there was a Dragon Ball hidden in his chest. In order to defeat Tao Bibai and collect the Dragon Balls to resurrect Bulla, Wukong decided to follow the guidance of the legend and climb up the Kalin Tower to find immortals and super holy water to improve his strength. After a painful climb, Wukong reached the top of the tower and met God Kalin. Kalin gave Wukong a fairy bean, which restored Wukong's full energy. Immediately afterwards, Wukong began to snatch the super holy water from Kalin's hand. After 3 days and 3 nights of hard fighting, Wukong finally grabbed the super holy water. This time is many times faster than Kame Sennin's original time. However, the super holy water has no effect and will not improve Wukong's strength. It turns out that there is no super holy water in this world. As more people drink it, super holy water becomes available. In fact, the suffering that Wukong experienced in these 3 days is the source of improving his strength. Later, Wukong 930 and Tao Bibai met again and started a final battle. Now Tao Bibai is no longer a match for Wukong. He wanted to sneak attack Wukong with a bomb, but his cleverness was mistaken and the bomb was kicked back by Wukong. After a burst of dazzling light, Tao Bibai was reduced to ashes, and Wukong single-handedly reached the Red Ribbon's headquarters. Without the slightest suspense, the Red Ribbon became a dust of history. Here Wukong also obtained 2 new Dragon Balls, only one short of being able to summon the dragon. However, the Dragon Ball did not show up on the radar. Seeing this, Turtle Immortal introduced a fortune teller to everyone, so Wukong asked the other party to divine the location of the Dragon Ball. However, the fortune teller asked Wukong and others to defeat 5 of his subordinates. Phew, just the last Dragon Ball is missing. Yes, in the blink of an eye, you can see the dragon again. I didn't expect that Dragon Ball could grant a wish once a year. This is too buggy. I admire it so much, I really want to go to the Dragon Ball world. Upstairs, aren't you afraid of death? In the Dragon Ball world, planets can be destroyed casually, and you are looking for death. That's it, I didn't expect Kame Sento to be so powerful and able to destroy the entire moon. This Tao Bibai is also very powerful, but Wukong is obviously more powerful, and Wukong is still very young. This experience is so wonderful, I really want to look for the Dragon Balls, not for anything else, just to meet Bulma. Wukong is so kind. In order to save Bra, he actually worked so hard to collect the Dragon Balls. Kindness. Ridiculous. That's right, if it weren't for Wukong, Bulla wouldn't have been killed by Tao Bibai. In the picture, some people are envious of Wukong's experience, some people are still peeking at the Dragon Balls, and some people think that Wukong killed Bra. In this regard, Wukong, who is located in the North Kaiwang planet, is not to care more. Taking stock of the people in the world, starting with the fate of the country. Author, Red Lotus. Chapter 105. The screen continued to play, and the first one was the virus vampire, so Klin took the lead in the battle. Since Klin did not wear a mask, he was knocked out of the field by the vampire and was successfully infected and defeated. Therefore, Upa and Pool came out to fight against the enemy. Upa made a cross pose, scaring away the vampires. Pool turned into a Tathagata palm and beat the vampires off the field, winning the victory. Then, Yamcha went on the stage to fight against the transparent man. In this battle, Klin used his wise little bald head to find Kame Sen and Bulma to help out. Krillin pulled off Bulma's clothes, causing Turtle Immortal to bleed from his nose. At this point, the transparent man was stained with red liquid, revealing his figure, and had to raise his flag to surrender. After that, the third bandage monster appeared. He was not very strong, but he easily defeated Yamcha. Seeing this, Wukong came out and killed the bandage monster with just one punch, and then the fourth subordinate Devil Man came out to fight. Devil Man has won 2 world number 1 Budokai championships and is very powerful. His unique skill is the Evil Thought Ray, which can amplify the evil thoughts in the opponent's heart, making him invincible. However, after the red light shined, nothing happened to Wukong. The reason was that Wukong was an innocent young man with no evil thoughts, so the devil was defeated by Wukong unwillingly. Finally, the fortune teller sent a 5th subordinate, the man in the aperture mask. The masked man could use the turtle-style Qigong, and he fought hard with Wukong. He also took advantage of Wukong's carelessness, grabbed Wukong's tail, and began to ravage Wukong. It turns out that the masked man is Wukong's grandfather, Sun Wuhan, but the mutation occurs again, and Wukong's tail is broken by his grandfather. So, Goku, who had regained his strength, was ready to fight back, while Gohan knew he was outmatched and surrendered. Then, Gohan took off his mask and said, "You kid is really useless. Only now did you realize that I am your grandfather." Grandfather, looking at Gohan's figure, Wukong shed tears and rushed towards Gohan, with a joyful smile on his face. "Wukong, don't be like this." Holding Goku, Gohan's face was full of kindness. "Grandpa, I miss you so much, Grandpa." Looking at Gohan in front of him, Wukong buried his head in Gohan's arms again, and 2 lines of hot tears kept flowing out. "Silly child, he still cries at such an old age." Touching Wukong's hair, a smile appeared on Gohan's face. This scene made Bulma and others around him and countless people in the world couldn't help crying. Wow, it made me cry. The scene where the grandfather and grandson met again was so touching. In the world of Conan, Yuanzi once again shed tears of emotion. Xiaolan and others on the side also kept wiping the corners of their eyes, feeling happy for Wukong from the bottom of their hearts. Great, finally Wukong saw his grandfather again. Woohoo! In the world of Naruto, Sakura was wiping her tears while crying. Naruto and Sasuke on the side also had bright smiles on their faces. After learning about their life experiences, they saw that Goku had now seen his grandfather again. And I am very happy inside. Why is Wukong's grandfather resurrected again? In the world of kings, Han Xian raised his eyebrows with some doubts on his face. Not sure, but judging from the halo on his head, there must be a special reason. Besides, Li Bai also shook his head. They were also very puzzled about Gohan's resurrection, but since there are 7 Dragon Balls in the Dragon Ball world that can resurrect the dead, it is not too strange to think that Gohan is resurrected. In the picture, Gohan and Goku, after a few words of greeting, he began to slowly explain the reason why Gohan could reappear. In fact, the fortune teller can take people freely to travel between the underworld and the human world, so Sun Wuhan can return to the human world and meet Wukong, but this time is only it lasted for 1 day, and then the fortune teller divined that the last Dragon Ball was in Pilaf's hand. Under Wukong's turtle-style Qigong, the Chowder King surrendered and handed over the Dragon Ball. Finally, Yamcha saw Wukong's strength and began to learn skills from Kame Sennin, and Wukong collected 7 Dragon Balls and successfully resurrected Bra. When the Dragon Balls were about to disperse, Wukong also grabbed the 4 planets in advance and got stuck in a wave of bug. After collecting the Dragon Balls, after the journey is over, Wukong will continue to measure the world with his feet. The whole journey of cultivating the mind will be full of ups and downs, Joys, sorrows and joys. Damn it! Is this okay? Looking at this scene, countless beings in the world couldn't help but swear. I never thought that they could still play like this. I have to say that it is indeed a dog Kong. He is really good at playing. He looks so good. He was innocent and kind, but he didn't expect to learn bad things. 3 years passed by, and the 22nd World's #1 martial arts tournament kicked off. From the 27th session onwards, the martial arts tournament was held every 3 years. This time Goku, Krillin, and others all signed up to participate in the competition. Also participating were the 2 apprentices of Hezanin, Tianjin Rice and Dumplings. Hezanin was a fellow disciple of Kamizenin and founded the Hezan Ryu. At the same time, Hezanin was still a Peach Bibai's brother. He wanted to kill Wukong and the Kamizen Ryu people to avenge his brother. In fact, Do Bibai did not die, but became a reformed person. Soon, the martial arts meeting will begin, and the process of the preliminary competition does not need to be described. The main characters advanced to the quarter-finals, and then Dumpling used superpowers to control the draw of the game. The first match was between Tianjin Fan and Yamcha. The two fought fiercely at the beginning, and the punches scratched each other's cheeks. Seeing this, Tianjin Fan used the secret of physical skills, Iron Block. Under this move, Yamcha's attack could not even break through the defense, so Yamcha decided to use the newly learned turtle-style Qigong. However, Tianjin Fan was already prepared, and actually used the turtle-style Qigong. After rebounding, Tianjin Fan flashed behind Yamcha and knocked his opponent to the ground hard. Yamcha lost consciousness and successfully finished 8th. However, Tianjin Fan still struck hard and broke Yamcha's left leg. Such a man with a human face and a beast's heart, a ruthless person who can destroy flowers with ruthless hands, made Wukong angry on the spot. After that, the second game started. Kame Sennin faced off against a passerby and a wolf. Seeing that his opponent was a two-horse, Kame Sennin easily deceived him out of the ring with his bones. Successfully won the victory. At the beginning of the third game, Bald Klin faced off against Bald Dumpling. Dumpling's ability is a superpower, which can make Klin's stomach hurt so much that he cannot attack. Dumpling can also perform air dance and fly into the air. In super, due to his ability, Klin was constantly ravaged by his opponents. However, Klin was quick to think and asked Dumpling about the mathematical problem of 3 plus 4. However, Dumpling's cultural level was not high and he could not calculate. Klin seized the opportunity to fight back. Seeing this, Klin, what is the value of 9 minus 1 for dumplings? In this way, dumplings suffer the consequences of being uneducated and are knocked off the court by Klin. It turns out that the answer to this mathematical problem is 8. Ha ha ha, the dumplings are too cute. Did you guys see it? You won't study hard in the future. In the world of Conan, Yuanzi laughed so hard that his stomach hurt and he almost burst into tears. To read Bao's Huang novels, go to Filu Novel Network. And many people in the world of heaven were also amused by this scene. The picture, that night Crane Sennin came to sneak attack Wukong, but was blocked by Tianjin Fan. Tianjin Fan said that he would definitely kill Wukong in the ring. The next day, the fourth game began. Wukong vs boxing champion Puff, just won in an instant. Puff was knocked down and Wukong won. At this point, all the top 4 were born. In the fifth game, Kame Sennin faced off against Tianjin Fan. The two of them each used their own unique skills and fought each other, indistinguishable. Kame Sennin continued to use Zy Dun, tried to persuade Tianjin Fan to do good, but Tianjin Fan was unmoved, and then he used the Sun Fist, and a strong light burst out, blinding the group. Tianjin Fan, who had this opportunity, knocked Kame Immortal to the ground. Tianjin Fan then used the Kame-style Qigong he had learned on his own, but Kame Sennin grabbed the shockwave with his bare hands and pushed the Qigong into the sky for the sake of the audience behind him. Just when Tianjin Fan thought Kame Sennin was about to launch a counter-attack, the latter he leisurely jumped off the ring and surrendered. It turns out that Kame Sennin recognized Tianjin Fan's strength and wanted to let him replace him to educate Gaku and Krillin. Tianjin Fan was shocked by Kame Sennin's actions and had inner turmoil. Then the sixth game began. Gaku fought hard against Krillin, and the two brothers finally began their first official duel. They adhered to the principle of friendship first, competition second, and enjoyed the game with a smile. In the end, there was no doubt that Wukong won. After that, the finals began, with Tianjin Fan fighting Sun Wukong to the death. As soon as Fang started, Tianjin Fan showed his supreme strength and had the upper hand. Even though Wukong used repeated horizontal jumps, Tianjin Fan was hit hard by Tianjin Fan. Then Wukong fought like a carp, stood up and fought back. He used the afterimage fist to crazy Matryoshka. This boxing technique can be called the shadow clone technique. Tianjin Fan just couldn't find the original body, and then Tianjin Fan used it again. Sun punch, but was broken by Wukong's big sunglasses. Seeing this, Hexenren ordered Dumpling to use superpowers to interfere with the competition. After learning this, Tianjin Fan stopped the master and stopped him. Now that he had recognized Kame Senrin's previous warning in his heart, Hexenren was furious about this and even wanted to attack Dumpling. But Kame Sennin turned Crane Sennin into a star with a single blast of Kame Pai Kagong. Then the game continued. Tianjin Fan used 4 arms to fight the enemy, and Wukong also used 8 super speed hands, and the battle was evenly matched with Tianjin Fan. So Tianjin Fan decided to fly into the air, and, Qian Zhao's, used the unique skill of overdrafting his life, Kagong Cannon. The terrifying Kagong Cannon shot down and the entire ring was destroyed. However, Wukong jumped to a high altitude and collided with Tianjin Fan with his headbutt. Then Tianjin Fan became unconscious and Wukong began to fall because he could not fly. In the end, Wukong was hit by a car and landed first. Since then, the champion of the 22nd World No. 1 Martial Arts Tournament has been produced, and Tianjin Fan has been elected. So awesome, I really want to fight the two of them. In the world of fairy tale, the flames on Natsu's body were burning brightly, and he looked at the two figures excitedly. Indeed, their strength is not too strong now. There may be a chance to fight with them, but there may not be a chance in the future. Gray on the side also rarely nodded in agreement with Natsu's idea. It's amazing. Gaku is only a teenager now, but he has become so powerful. It seems that it is not impossible to fight Frieza in the future. In the world of Naruto, Naruto couldn't help but admire. Compared with Gaku, he is still weak now, but Gaku is already very powerful. It's really amazing. He already has such strength at such a young age. He must be far ahead of me within a few years. In the pirate world, Whitebeard's face was filled with amazement. Although Gaku is not as strong as him at the moment, but with his growth rate, he may be able to defeat Fen in less than a few years. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Taking stock of the people in the world, starting with the fate of the country. Author, Red Lotus. Chapter 106. An ant-like thing with such strength can actually be on the ranking list of the heavens. I have never practiced cultivation since I was born. I can crush you to death with just one finger. In the world of Dragon Ball, Frieza's face is full of disdain. This kind of talent is so ordinary that I have to doubt the authenticity of the characters. Located on the planet of the god of destruction, Beerus' face looked extremely calm as he looked at Gaku's figure. If I remember correctly, next, Clint, on Earth, Bulma looked at Clint beside him with a heavy expression on his face. It's okay, am I living well now? Touching his bald head, Clint smiled innocently. In the picture, after the war, Tianjin invited guests to dinner, and gained everyone's approval. Since Wukong left the Dragon Ball and Wishful Stick at the venue, Clint went to get it for Wukong. However, Watching Krillin leaving, Wukong felt a palpitation in his heart. This made Wukong forget about food and drink, and chose to return to the venue to look for Krillin, but Krillin was already dead, and the Dragon Ball was nowhere to be seen. Wukong, crying with grief and anger, left immediately. He used the Dragon Ball radar to find the murderer. At the scene, Kame Sennin also discovered the symbol of the great demon King Piccolo. Piccolo had brought disaster to the world. In the end, Kame Sennin's master used the demon sealing wave to seal Piccolo into the rice cooker. But the master also overdrawn his life and died on the spot. Now in order to rule the world, Volov secretly found the rice cooker and released Piccolo. Piccolo wanted to kill the martial arts masters in the world to avoid encountering the demon sealing wave again, and he also wanted to use the Dragon Ball to restore his youth. On the other side, Wukong caught up with the murderer of Krillin, the demon Danbalin. Because he was not full, Wukong was severely ravaged by the opponent, but Danbalin did not make up for it. Instead, he left to continue hunting martial arts masters. At the same time, Piccolo vomited eggs in public and hatched his subordinate Cymbaloo, who was then responsible for finding the Dragon Balls. 750. On Goku's side, he ate the warrior Archie after waking up. Lugobei's grilled fish restored his strength. After discovering it, Aki Lugobei began to struggle with Goku. At this time, Cymbaloo came to the door and wanted to seize the Dragon Ball. However, such fresh ingredients were given to Achi Lugobei on the spot. Sliced and barbecued. So Piccolo ordered Dambolin to set off to retrieve the Dragon Balls. Soon the three met in the wild. At this moment, Wukong had eaten and drank enough to regain his strength. Danbalin was completely eliminated by Wukong's turtle-style Qigong. After learning, Piccolo was extremely angry and went out to find Wukong himself. Piccolo was extremely powerful and Wukong was no match for him. The only thing that frightened Piccolo was that he mistakenly mistook the turtle Qigong wave for the demon sealing wave. In the end, Piccolo took the turtle Qigong force unscathed. But Wukong was attacked by Piccolo, his eyes were slack and his heartbeat was gone. After that, Piccolo took the Dragon Ball and left gracefully. But not long after, Wukong regained his heartbeat and was rescued by a Kilob. In order to defeat Biker K and Wukong went to find the god of Karen again. On the other side, Kame Sennin collected 5 Dragon Balls, but Piccolo found them. In order to protect Tianjin Fan, Kame Sennin stunned him with anti-wolf spray, and then Kame Sennin he faced Piccolo alone and asked the dumplings not to appear. Then Kame Sennin took out a rice cooker and started to use the magic sealing wave. Piccolo was frightened when he saw this. Just when he was about to be sealed into the rice cooker, he was blocked by the rice cooker. The quality problem actually closed on its own, and Piccolo successfully escaped. Afterwards, Kame Sento was overstretched and fell to the ground. Piccolo collected the 7 Dragon Balls and found the dumplings to kill him. Then Piccolo made a wish to Shenlong to regain his youth. And killed the dragon with a mouth cannon. Since then, the 7 Dragon Balls have turned into stones. Each, at the same time, Wukong, with the help of a Kilobei, climbed to the Kalin Tower. Kalin asked Wukong to drink to stimulate his potential. After experiencing the ordeal in the iceberg maze, Wukong drank the super divine water. When he woke up, his strength had greatly improved. On Piccolo's side, he captured the king and began to prepare to rule the world. Tianjin Fan also learned to be a demon seal wave, and visited Piccolo, but Piccolo laid an egg again and hatched his subordinate Ram to deal with Tianjin Fan. Ram is extremely powerful and Tianjin Fan is no match at all, so Tianjin Fan uses a trick to get rid of Ram and uses the demonic sealing wave on Bic. However, Ram blocks in front of Piccolo and withstands the demonic sealing wave, and the rice cooker is Piccolo destroys it with a shock wave. Afterwards, Tenjin Fan, who was exhausted, could not fight and fell to the ground. Just when Ram was about to kill Tianjin Fan, Wukong came to support him. After just one meeting, Ram was eliminated by Wukong, and the decisive battle began, with Wukong facing off against the big devil Piccolo. Now, the two are evenly matched, and it's hard to tell the winner in a fight. In the process, Piccolo accidentally killed his butler, so Piccolo was furious and used his special energy attack. After being furious, Piccolo's strength greatly increased, and he knocked Wukong away with one blow, but Wukong counterattacked Piccolo with a turning turtle-style Qigong. Just like that, the two of them went back and forth without giving in. However, Piccolo was cunning and used a brick to block Wukong's sight, and then used a Cyclops shot to hurt Wukong's right leg. Then Piccolo exhaled and said, "Use the Qigong wave that destroys the heaven and the earth." Boom! After one move, everything was destroyed, no grass could grow, mountains and rivers were razed to the ground, the earth began to shake continuously, even the sky changed color, terrifying hurricanes swept out continuously, and countless air waves exploded. Fortunately, Tianjin Fan saved Wukong with the dance technique. Seeing Piccolo repeat his old tricks, he used another Qigong wave. Such a huge explosive art, even Deidara in the Naruto world silently gave Piccolo a thumbs up. Liked it? However, Wukong still survived and returned to the battlefield with the help of somersault clouds. At this time, Piccolo grabbed Tenjin Rice and threatened Wukong, and used flying rocks and meteors to hurt Wukong's left leg and arm. After that, Piccolo was sure of victory and flew forward to deliver a fatal blow, but Wukong still had a right arm, so how could he give up so easily? Wukong uses turtle-style Qigong to fly into the sky, performs the ultimate killing move, and punches through the world. Boom! As a huge ape appeared in Piccolo's eyes, a terrifying power emerged, and powerful energy spurted out from Wukong's fist, followed by a burst of dazzling white light. To read Bao's Huang novels, go to Filu Novel Network. Gaku's fist pierced Piccolo's chest, leaving Piccolo unable to recover. However, before dying, Piccolo used his last strength to hatch the life essence egg. Piccolo said that his child must seek revenge from the Sun family, and then Piccolo exploded completely, and a generation of demon kings rushed to the street. Then Akilobe took Gaku to find Carlin for treatment. Tianjin Fan made an appointment with Wukong to fight at the 23rd World's Best Martial Arts Tournament. Soon, Akilobe took Wukong to see Kalin again. Kalin asked Wukong to find the god who made the Dragon Balls and resurrect the dragon. Through the wishful stick, Wukong successfully survived the thunderstorm and finally arrived at the Temple of Heaven. The first person to greet Wukong was a black man, Bobo. Bobo easily defeated Wukong and instructed Wukong to learn to let go of his mind. Then the god appeared, and he was exactly the same as Piccolo. It turns out that when the god became a god, he separated the evil thoughts in his body, and the evil thoughts were the great demon king Piccolo, so the two were originally one. Then the god asked Wukong to practice for another 3 years and defeat his old enemy in the world's best martial arts tournament, Piccolo. In exchange, the god resurrected Shenlong and made a wish to resurrect Klin and others. At this point, Wukong began a 3-year practice in heaven. Time flies, and the 23rd World's #1 martial arts tournament arrives in a blink of an eye. Now everyone has been greatly improved through practice. Wukong has also grown up, and his height once again surpasses Krillin. Gaku's old enemy Piccolo also came to compete, and we later turned him into Piccolo. In addition, a little beauty came to Gaku and confessed his love. However, Wukong couldn't remember who this person was, and soon the preliminary competition kicked off. Everyone successfully advanced, except Dumpling, who met the modified Tao Bibai and was defeated by him. At this point, all the top 8 have been formed, and the first match is between Tianjin Fan and Tao Bibai. Nowadays, Tianjin Fan's strength has improved so much that he suppressed Tao Bibai to the point where he could not move. He even used his cannons to explode his opponent's whole waves. Then Tianjin Fan completely defeated Tao Bibai with a heavy punch. Seeing how powerful Tianjin Rice was, he Xianren picked up Tao Bibai and ran away quickly. Then the second game began, with Wukong facing off against a little beauty. In Wukong's eyes, his opponent has no gender, only whether he is powerful or not. With just one punch, the little beauty was sent flying out of the ring by Wukong and fell heavily to the ground. It turns out that the little beauty is Kikai, and she came here to find Wukong to fulfill her engagement. In this way, Wukong remembered his past promise and successfully got out of singlehood. This scene also made countless people in the world feel very happy, but a small number of people felt that it was a pity that Wukong was not with Bulma. After that, the third game began, with Krillin facing off against Piccolo. As the successor of the great Demon King, Piccolo's strength is not to mention. Krillin was basically restrained on all fronts once they fought. Then Krillin stopped being sloppy and surrendered gracefully. The future is long. Then the fourth game got underway, with Yamcha playing against a passerby player. The passerby player changed his usual laziness and burst out with super strength. Yamcha lost immediately and successfully finished in 8th place again. It turns out that the passerby player is a god possessing a human body, and he is here to deal with Piccolo. At this point, all the top 4 have been produced. In the 5th game, Wukong faced Tianjin Fan. The champion and runner-up 3 years ago had a fierce battle, and it was difficult to decide the winner for a while. Tianjin Fan saw this and taunted Wukong. After hearing this, Wukong took off his weight-bearing equipment and regained his freedom. Then Wukong used his speed to successfully gain the upper hand. In order to deal with Wukong, Tianjin Fan used the shadow clone technique. Tianjin Fan transformed into 4 clones and shot lasers from his eyes, finally regaining the victory. However, Wukong discovered the opponent's weakness. Then Wukong used the Sun Fist to cover Tianjin Fan's eyes. Then, with a series of strikes, the 4 Tianjin Fans were lifted off the ring and ended in defeat. It turns out that Tianjin Fan's shadow clone technique will divide his own strength into 4, so Wukong can easily defeat each one. Taking stock of the people in the world, starting with the fate of the country. Author, Red Lotus. Chapter 107. I thought Tianjin Rice's clone technique was the same as our ninjutsu. In the world of Naruto, Naruto scratched his head with some surprise on his face. I thought Goku would be with Bulma, but I didn't expect that Kikai has grown up, and it would be great for Kikai and Goku to be together. In the world of pirates, Usopp frowned, and then he was relieved. Although he prefers Bulma, Kikai is also pretty good, and she must be a very good wife. Tianjin Rice has also become very powerful. If we don't create 3 clones, we might still have a chance. In the world of fairy tale, Natsu couldn't help but exclaimed. At this moment, he was far from the opponent of the 2, but this still couldn't change his idea of a competition. Speaking of which, since Yamcha participated in the martial arts competition, it seems that he has been ranked 8th every time. In the world of Dragon Ball, Bulma blinked and a smile appeared on his face. Krillin and others on the side also laughed, while Yamcha looked depressed. The screen continued to play, and the 6th game began. When fighting against Piccolo, the 2 of them were in their original form, and they were evenly matched in the fight. However, since the god used a human body, he gradually lost to Piccolo. Seeing this, the god used the demon sealing wave, but Piccolo actually also used the demon sealing wave. The poor god was sealed in a bottle by the demon sealing wave, and was swallowed into the body by Piccolo. At the moment before the seal, the god protected the human body, which is also a meritorious deed. In this regard, the 23rd session, the place for the finals of the Budokai, was determined, and Goku fought Piccolo fiercely. The 2 immediately began to fight quickly without any hesitation, using boxing, lifting techniques, body techniques, and Qigong. However, these were just warm ups. Then, Piccolo flew into the sky, regardless of the audience. Life or death, the shock waves started to blast out, but Wukong showed no sign of weakness, and the turtle school Kigong came forward. The Sun family was invincible against the wave, and Piccolo couldn't resist it. He was heavily shot down by the turtle school Kigong. Seeing that he couldn't fight against the wave, Piccolo used a secret technique to transform into a giant. It turns out that Piccolo's body can not only expand and contract freely, but also become larger and smaller. However, with the help of Kigong, Wukong flew into Piccolo's body and continued to destroy it. When Wukong was spit out by Piccolo, the bottle that sealed the god also brought out by Wukong, the god was finally rescued, and Wukong no longer had any scruples in taking action. Then Piccolo returned to his original figure and continued to fight with Wukong. Whoops! The next moment, Piccolo flashed behind Wukong and knocked him down from the sky, but Wukong he used his kick waves to help and punched Piccolo. The two sides went back and forth, fighting constantly. During the process, Goku also refused the god's request for assistance, and Piccolo's recovery ability was also extremely terrifying. Even if his arm was damaged first, he could still make it. It regenerated. In this way, the two gradually entered into a competition of special moves. Piccolo took the lead and exploded the magic wave to destroy the world and destroy the earth with one move. Boom! I saw countless air waves spurting out from Piccolo's body, with terrifying power. In an instant, all directions were affected to varying degrees. The dazzling light actually covered the sun in the sky for a moment, turning the world into white. The color of the sky changed, and the earth began to tremble violently. All the houses and buildings thousands of miles around and even the entire land was blasted into powder, and a beam of light penetrated the sky and the earth. The scene like the end of the world shocked countless worlds, and even Deodara called him an expert. The smoke cleared, and Wukong was seen protecting his head with both hands. He was a little embarrassed to receive this move, but it was nothing serious. Then, Goku counterattacked Piccolo and used the turtle-style Kigong again, intending to end the game. Turtle-style Kigong wave. In the sky, as Wukong's voice fell, a terrifying energy continued to condense in the palms of his hands, azure light shone on the earth, terrifying power continued to sweep out, and endless hurricanes continued to sweep away. Come out! Boom! As the terrifying Kigong wave fell, the bright light once again illuminated the entire land. Countless rocks and gravels continued to turn into powder. Earth-shattering explosions resounded through the sky, and a huge pit was hundreds of meters long. Reflected in everyone's eyes. When the smoke cleared, just when everyone thought that Wukong had won, Piccolo suddenly blasted a shockwave from his mouth and penetrated Wukong's chest. Immediately, Piccolo struck one after another. After breaking off Wukong's limbs, Piccolo flew into the air again and unleashed the ultimate killing move. Boom! The earth-shattering momentum shot straight into the sky, terrifying explosions followed, countless gravels sprayed out continuously, and terrifying air waves continued. Sweeping through everyone's bodies, countless gunpowder smoke continued to fill the air. The earth began to shake violently, the sky became extremely dark, and terrifying air waves rose into the sky. As the smoke dissipated, just when Piccolo thought he had won, Goku flew into the sky. Arriving behind him. With one head strike after another, Piccolo was knocked down from the sky by the head pillar hammer and fell to the ground. At this point, Piccolo completely lost his fighting power. Goku also won the 23rd World No. 1 Martial Arts Tournament. Champion. Later, with the help of fairy beans, Wukong recovered as before. Seeing Piccolo's seriously injured body, Wukong also gave him some fairy beans. After recovering, Piccolo flew away, while Wukong rejected the God of Heaven invitation, and then summoned Somersault Cloud, and took Kikai to start the two of them, Journey of. The two found the Bull Demon King and prepared to hold a wedding, but a fire broke out in the castle, and the bull demon king was also trapped in it. This fire was the true fire of Samadhi, and only Tai's Hanglajun could eradicate it. With the help of the divination mother-in-law, Wukong came to Five Elements Mountain, and after going through a lot of hardships, he finally found Tai's Hanglajun. Even Wukong's grandfather once again worked for Tai's Hanglajun. Finally, under the guidance of Tai's Hanglajun, Wukong repaired the holes in the Bagua furnace, and the flames in the Bull Demon King's castle were finally extinguished. After that, Wukong and Kikai successfully held their wedding, and with everyone's blessings, they officially became husband and wife. Seeing this scene, countless beings in the world also felt tears. After all, what happened to Wukong when he was a child was so sad. It is also very touching to have such a good partner and wife now. That's great, I really want to get married too. In the world of Naruto, Sakura couldn't help but speak, and then looked at Sasuke with the corner of her eyes. Hee, I would like to see when Naruto and Hinata get married, and I will be their bridesmaid then. Ino on the side smiled, her eyes constantly turning around Naruto and Hinata. The students around them also started to cheer, and Naruto and Hinata were even surrounded, their faces everything was extremely red. In the 10 days since Minato and Kushina returned last time, they had also negotiated their marriage contract with the Hinata family. They thought they could hold a wedding after they came of age. These two are really strong, I would like to fight them if I could. Lying in the belly of the ghoul, Senju Hashirama couldn't help but admired. The strength of a mere god is only that, and the god of destruction is probably just that. It seems that Frisia's strength is indeed the best in the universe, located in the land of death. Madara Uchiha snorted coldly, feeling disdainful of the strength of the gods. To read Bao's Huang novels, go to Fila Novel Network. Although Goku and Piccolo are not weak at the moment, it's not a problem for the tail Jinchuriki to deal with two people, let alone a small god. This level of combat power has reached the level of an emperor. Soon, we will be left behind. In the world of pirates, the red-haired man drank down the wine in his hand, his face a little lonely. You know, he is also one of the best geniuses, but in front of these two people, his talent seemed extremely mediocre, even, fly. It's really a shocking talent, but it's still far from enough to defeat Frisia. How powerful will you become, Son Goku? It's really exciting. In the world of death, Aizen watched the battle between the two with great interest on his face. Next, it's Raditz, and even Goku was forced to die with Raditz. In the world of Dragon Ball, Krillin's face looked a little solemn. Although Goku can be resurrected through the Dragon Ball can only be resurrected once, and then it will have no effect anymore, and the next enemies will become stronger and stronger. That will be a tough fight. Don't worry, Goku is training hard on Kaiu planet now, and didn't the introduction say that Goku will be very strong in the future and will definitely be able to defeat future enemies? Besides, Turtle Immortal patted Klin's head. That's right, although we may not be able to help much, we must believe in Wukong. Bulma also nodded, believing in Wukong very much in his heart. In a few months, those Xians will attack. My strength is not enough yet, I must become stronger. In the northern Kaiwang, Goku began to train continuously, and his clothes were already soaked with sweat. Deep in the universe, witnessing the whole battle between the two, Frisia's face was full of disdain. This Xian is really the legendary one. Super Xian? It looks even worse than Vegeta. The picture continues to play, and time flies by. 5 years have passed. Wukong and Kikai, who have no enemies, live happily together in Baizai Mountain, and they also gave birth to the crystallization of love, named Sun Wuhan. Wukong, in order to commemorate his own grandfather Gohan, so he also named his eldest son Sun Gohan. Until one day, a Xian named Raditz came to the Earth in a spaceship, and Raditz's goal was naturally Son Goku. Raditz, after telling Goku the identity of the Xians, they can conquer the Earth together. However, Goku refused, so Raditz kidnapped Gohan. After a verbal dispute, the three Picrates fought, and Goku sacrificed himself. Piccolo killed Raditz with the demonic light cannon. Later, Piccolo learned from Raditz that Tusians, Vegeta, and Nappa would return to Earth a year later. After his death, Goku trained with the King of Kai and became much stronger. 1 year passed in a blink of an eye. Vegeta and Nappa attacked. Goku's companions gathered the 7 Dragon Balls and made a wish to Shenron to resurrect Goku. In one operation, most people died. Piccolo also died to protect Gohan. With Piccolo's death, the gods also died. Just when Vegeta and others were about to kill Krillin and Gohan, Goku came. Late. Taking stock of the people in the world, starting with the fate of the country. Author, Red Lotus. Chapter 108. In the picture, looking at Sun Wukong suspended in mid-air, the corners of Vegeta's mouth raised slightly. It finally appeared. "Why did you come all the way here, Kakarot?" Vegeta crossed his arms and continued with a slight smile on his face. "Are you here to defeat us?" Hearing this, Goku completely ignored Vegeta, but quietly walked towards Piccolo, touched Piccolo's forehead with his hand, confirmed Piccolo's departure, and then saw Tianjin Fan and Yamu in the distance. T's body, and a dumpling that was not dead. With Piccolo dead and the god dead, the Dragon Balls couldn't be used, and the dead friends couldn't be resurrected. Wukong was very angry. Taking the step of not recognizing his relatives, Wukong slowly walked towards Nappa. "This is a meeting gift for you." Looking at Wukong's approaching figure, Nappa's huge fist suddenly blasted out. The terrifying power directly tore the atmosphere, with the terrifying fist wind, which shocked some beings in the world. However, when the fist arrived, when Wukong's body was in the position, Wukong disappeared. When the camera turned, it turned out that Wukong came in front of Gohan and gave the only fairy bean on his body to Gohan and Krillin. Then Wukong asked Gohan to eat Krillin. The two of them went home, and then handed 103 to him. Krillin looked at the aura emanating from Goku and felt that he had no room to intervene, so he dragged Gohan away from the battlefield. Then, Wukong walked towards Nappa slowly with the steps of a strong man. "Inexcusable, you guys!" Wukong roared when he came to Nappa. The terrifying aura on his body kept sweeping out. Suddenly, sand and stones flew all over him. Countless stones continued to float in mid-air. The earth began to tremble violently, and even the air was shaken away. The combat power actually exceeds 8,000. Crushing the detector in his hand, Vegeta's face was filled with disbelief. "Nani, if it exceeds 8,000, there must be an error in the detector. How can the combat effectiveness of lower-level soldiers exceed 8,000? Hearing Vegeta's words, Nappa almost doubted his life. His mouth opened extremely wide, and his face was full of shock. Tap tap tap. With a step, Nappa rushed straight towards Goku without any plan. "Go!" His arm suddenly hugged Wukong's body. However, the next moment Wukong came behind Nappa and kicked Nappa on the back of the head. Wukong, who had the upper hand, began to taunt Nappa, "Look at how big you are. I didn't expect it to be a paper tiger." The veins all over Nappa's body popped out in anger, and he rushed over quickly. However, even though Nappa tried his best, Wukong easily dodged them. Phew! A slight sound sounded. Wukong stepped on Nappa's bald head with his feet, and then dodged Nappa's attack again. Wukong appeared on Nappa's body, and then punched out hard. This punch hit Nappa directly. Kneeling on the ground, Nappa couldn't help but doubt Xian's life at this moment. The attack became so messy that even Goku didn't need to dodge and directly resisted with his physical body. "Idiot, calm down and think with your head, you won't be able to defeat Kakarot." At this time, Vegeta beside him couldn't help but angrily scolded Nappa. Later, under Vegeta's scolding, Nappa regained his sense and began to regain his original fighting style. However, even after regaining his sense, Nappa still he could only fight Gaku in a back and forth fight, and then Vegeta on the ground saw that Nappa couldn't defeat Gaku, so he told Nappa to leave and do it himself. Nappa, who had originally completed 3 kills, could do it himself. Cheng Sheng retreated, but Nappa insisted on seeking death. He took a fancy to Gohan Krillin on the ground. He rushed over like a cannonball and opened his mouth to attack the two of them. Kaio Fist. Looking at Nappa's movements, Gaku he became angry instantly, his red flames exploded, his speed and strength skyrocketed, and he caught up with Nappa in an instant. After a set of moves as fierce as a tiger, Nappa lost his fighting ability and was thrown back to Vegeta by Gaku. In front of him. The Kaio Fist can increase his combat power, but it is just a trick to overdraw the body. If used incorrectly, he may even lose his life. Moreover, the current Gaku can only use twice the Kaio Fist at most. Help me, Vegeta. Collapsed on the ground, Nappa stretched out his left arm. However, in the shocked eyes of Gaku, Nappa, and others, Nappa's body was thrown into the air by Vegeta, and then he was hit by a Kagong attack by Vegeta. The wave exploded into ashes. This scene also caused great reactions from countless people in the world of heavens, but some people felt normal. Damn it, what does this guy think of his companions? In the world of fairy tale, Natsu's face was filled with anger, powerful flames spurted out from his body, and the powerful magic made the earth begin to tremble. On the side, Urza, Gray, Lucy and others also felt angry incomparably. In their eyes, partners are family members, but Vegeta actually attacked his family members. This is really unforgivable. This Vegeta is just like Blackbeard, he must never be forgiven. In the world of pirates, Ace's eyes are full of anger. He actually attacked his companions. Is Vegeta still considered a master? On the Moby Dick, the faces of Whitebeard and the others were full of anger, and Marco roared even more. You know, they were extremely angry at Whitebeard's betrayal, and that's why they didn't stop Ace. They went to capture Whitebeard, and they didn't even call back Ace even when the red hair came forward. This is unforgivable. Gaku, give Vegeta a good beating. On the pirate ship, Wang Luffy and others couldn't help shouting. A person like this will never win. Mr. Gaku will definitely defeat him. In the world of Demon Slayer, Tanjiro and the other 3 have heavy expressions. Although they are angry that Nappa killed the other 3 people, they can't bear to see Vegeta killing his companions. Read Bao's Huang novels, just go to Fila Novel Network. Die well, let you kill Tianjin Rice Dumplings and the others. In the world of Naruto, Sakura couldn't help but cheered, but her companions looked at her a little strangely. In the world of Dragon Ball, Nappa in the spaceship witnessed the whole process, and then slowly turned his head to Biggie. Tar asked with an unkind expression, Vegeta, should you give me an explanation? Nappa, don't be misled by this video. Our goal now is to become stronger together, go to Earth to find the Dragon Balls, become immortal, and defeat Frieza. In Nappa's eyes, Vegeta's face was calm, his arms were folded, and a faint voice came out. After hearing this, the anger on Nappa's face gradually disappeared, and he felt that what Vegeta said was reasonable. Now their target is Frieza, and he can't beat Vegeta, so there's not much point in pursuing them. 0. Glancing at Nappa with his peripheral vision, Vegeta couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief in his heart. Although he did feel that Nappa didn't have much effect, the current Nappa still had some effect, and after learning the truth, he also, if we need help, this guy who is not very bright is quite suitable. He, Vegeta, I really saw you right. You are the same type of person as me. If you can obey my orders well, I will admire you very much. In the spaceship, Frieza's maniacal laughter spread throughout the spaceship. In the scene, Gaku asked Krillin Gohan to go back and leave this place to him. In order not to destroy the bodies of his friends, Goku left Vegeta led them to an open space to fight. As the two bodies fell, Vegeta folded his arms and stood on the rock and talked about his extraordinary life experience. I am the Prince of the Saiyans. I was born with more than one with a combat power of 100, you are a unique martial arts prodigy, but Kakarot, you are just a low-level warrior. Saiyans must go through a warrior quality test as soon as they are born. A person like you who is born with a combat power of only 2 warriors are only worthy of being sent to a remote planet like Earth to open up wasteland, so you are just an outcast. Faced with Vegeta's rhetoric, Goku directly replied, as long as you keep working hard, an outcast can surpass a genius. Ha ha ha, that's ridiculous, let me show you the gap that cannot be bridged no matter how hard you try. Vegeta sneered, and the two sides got into fighting postures. As the rocks in the sky shattered, Goku roared and rushed towards Vegeta. He kept waving his fists, and countless after-images appeared in the air, with terrifying fist winds. Continuously swept out. However, Goku's attack was easily dodged by Vegeta. Then Vegeta stepped on the stone and kicked out. Before Goku could react, Vegeta punched out suddenly. Bang! Wukong's body flew out like a cannonball. After flying hundreds of meters, Wukong's body came to a halt. Then he rushed forward again with a body size of 0.4 and clashed with Vegeta. Bang 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 bang. As the two of them continued to collide, invisible ripples continued to spread in mid-air, but Vegeta had a relaxed look on his face. What's wrong, Kakarot, you are more than this, right? Where is the momentum from defeating Nappa just now? Let me see it. As Vegeta's voice fell, Goku was also beaten from behind by Vegeta, and then was violently blasted away. The two of them fell on the rock again. As a Saiyan, Prince, Vegeta is extremely glorious. He looks down upon Kakarot, who is a lower-level warrior, with a confident expression on his face. Facing the powerful Vegeta, Goku has no choice but to use the ultimate move he just learned, King Fist. As red flames enveloped Wukong's whole body, a powerful breath swept out from his body. This power made countless masters in the world look solemn. Although they had just seen Wukong king the posture under the fist, but watching it again now is still shocking. You must know that Kyo Fist can increase the user's power, and it can increase several times or even dozens of times. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Taking stock of the people in the world, starting with the fate of the country. Author, Red Lotus. Chapter 113. In the picture, facing the powerful light wave blasted by Frieza, Goku calmly slapped it with a gentle palm. There was no powerful momentum. Just like swatting a fly, he instantly swatted the purple light wave away. Go out. The terrifying light wave suddenly flew into the sky, and then exploded in front of everyone's shocked eyes. A bright purple light shone on the earth. The entire sky was dyed purple at this moment, and the terrifying explosion sounded throughout the world. Countless spectators in the world of heavens and worlds could not help but be stunned at this moment. Whether it was Frieza in the video or Frieza watching the video, their mouths could not help but open slightly at this moment, and their eyes suddenly widened. In the Dragon Ball world, Vegeta and Nappa's eyes almost bulged out, and their mouths were so wide that they could almost fit several eggs. In the picture, Frieza's face suddenly became ferocious, and the purple light on his fingertips suddenly shone, 10 times more powerful than before. The purple light with terrifying power was like a violent storm, heading towards Goku's body. Rush away. Bang 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 bang. In the horrified eyes of everyone in the world, Wukong only used one right hand to blow away all the light waves that were enough to kill countless strong men in an instant. The powerful 210 waves of energy continued to spread, and the terrifying hurricane continued to swept out. Boom! Purple energy waves flew in all directions, exploding continuously on the surrounding ground. Pieces of land turned into ruins in an instant, and huge potholes dozens of feet long appeared in front of everyone's eyes. With just one arm, all of Frisia's light waves were shot away. This is Frisia. This is not Vegeta, let alone a little guy. This is a super strong man who can destroy the planet with one finger. You actually knocked away all his attacks as easily as swatting mosquitoes. This is what a Saiyan can do. Something happened. At this moment, countless powerful people in the world fell into a state of confusion. Many people were shocked to the point of being stunned. Their brains seemed to be short-circuited and they were unable to understand everything that was happening in front of them. How can this be? I must have read it wrong. Phew, how could Frisia's attack be so easily deflected away with one hand? And it's not just one attack, it's hundreds of attacks. At this moment, I don't know how many people opened their mouths so hugely that they could almost swallow several duck eggs. In the Dragon Ball world, Vegeta and Nappa's whole bodies were trembling involuntarily, and their facial expressions were difficult to describe in words. My whole brain is about to short-circuit. This is impossible. Kakarot is obviously just a low-level warrior. After a moment, Nappa couldn't help but scream in horror. Beside him, Vegeta looked as if he was being strangled tightly. The expression on his face was ashen and he couldn't even make a sound. You know, in a short time, just a few minutes ago, he was being beaten continuously by Frisia, but Kakarot, who was not even his opponent, actually knocked Frisia's attack away easily. As a gamer like this, where does the demi-human prince put his face? You must know how powerful Frisia is, and Vegeta is very clear about it. Even though his combat power has increased dozens of times, it still makes him despair is extremely powerful, but at this moment Kakarot actually showed enough strength to fight Frisia. However, it is hard to believe that at this moment, whether it is Frisia or Nappa, there in my heart, I hope that Kakarot can beat Frisia as hard as he beat Vegeta. As for the pride of the Saiyans, and the self-esteem of being a Saiyan prince whatever, we can put this aside for now. This is too strong. On Earth, Klin was stunned on the spot, his face full of disbelief. This guy Wukong's aura is completely different from when he was on the Earth. Such an earth-shaking change has occurred. Piccolo's face couldn't help but turn green at this moment, and cold sweat continued to fall on his forehead. Beside him, Gohan also widened his eyes and looked at his father in disbelief. This is impossible. How could a mere Saiyan easily deflect my attack away? Located deep in the universe, Frisia's expression is extremely shocking. You know, he is in his final form in the picture. Although it is not the strongest state, it is not something that any Saiyan can match. After so many years, except for his father and brother, there are not many people in the universe who can block his attacks. But Kakarot in the video actually deflected his own attacks with one hand. Even if he is the legendary Super Saiyan, people are also difficult for him to accept. The development of all this is completely different from what he imagined. Just when he thought that the person being counted was him, he found that the person being counted was not him, and the low-level warrior Kakarot who was being counted could easily do so. Blocked his attack, which was like a slap in the face. Son Wukong, even after reading your experience, I still can't believe how you reached this state. What is supporting you? In the world of Naruto, Naruto said in shock. What a powerful body, this is the ultimate meaning of Taijutsu, this is the charm of youth, burn your youth. Kakarot, in the Konoha village, Metkai was trembling with excitement. Is a legend about to be born here, in the world of death? Kurosaki Ichigo said in disbelief. To read Bao's Huang novels, go to Fila Novel Network. That's it, defeat Frisia, Kakarot. In the Marvel world, Tony and others couldn't help cheering. In the picture, as the smoke slowly dissipated, the sneer on the corner of Frisia's mouth disappeared without a trace in an instant, and what appeared instead was a shocking scene. Expression: I can't believe he bounced all the air bombs away with one hand. Next to Goku, Vegeta fell to the ground. Blood continued to flow from the corners of Vegeta's mouth, which was seriously injured, but at this moment, clear laughter came from his mouth. Ha 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 ha, Frisia, be smart, and fight him with all your strength. This guy, he is what you fear most, overtake, Super Saiyan. Slowly supporting his body, Vegeta endured the severe pain all over his body and sat up tremblingly from the ground under Frisia's incredible gaze. That's right. He is the legendary strongest warrior in the universe, Super Saiyan. Frisia, you're done. I never thought you would be here today, ha 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 ha. In the world of heaven, countless people are also filled with doubts. What is the Super Saiyan that appears in the title and Frisia Vegeta's mouth? Could it be that Saiyans also follow like Frisia? Can he change his own form to fight? But at this moment, Kakarot in the picture does not look much different from before. Although his aura is much stronger, his appearance is not much different. It's different. While countless people were puzzled, Frisia in the picture suddenly raised his finger, and a purple light instantly penetrated Vegeta's heart, causing Sun Wukong's expression to change drastically. In the Dragon Ball world, Vegeta's brain was stunned as if it was struck by a thunderbolt. Is this what will happen to me in the future? However, a Saiyan is still a Saiyan after all. Even if his heart is pierced, he still has a breath left. After spitting out a mouthful of blood, Vegeta's trembling voice came out. Listen, you, like my birthplace, planet Vegeta was not destroyed by a giant meteorite. Our planet Vegeta was destroyed by Frisia. We Saiyans have always been his lackeys loyally and obeyed his orders. Even if we have no credit, we still have hard work. Looking at Kakarot's face, the unwillingness and hatred in Vegeta's eyes turned into 2 lines of tears, but he killed all of our clan. Your father and my father were all in his hands because he was afraid that he would be born among the Saiyans at some point, unknown Super Saiyan. At this moment, Vegeta moved countless people in the world. This extremely proud prince of the Saiyans actually cried like a helpless child at this moment. Although his previous actions left a lasting impression on people, a very bad image, but at this moment he also died fighting Frisia, which deserves their sympathy. The ground was wet with tears, but with difficulty, he stretched out his hand to Goku, and the dying Vegeta spoke with trembling words. Please, 3.9. Please, bundle, Frisia, kill. Please, revenge for the Saiyans. As the words fell, Vegeta's arms finally fell to the ground weakly, and his breathing stopped suddenly at this moment. Seeing the scene of his death, Vegeta couldn't help but fell silent. The entire spacecraft was extremely silent. Nappa's pupils suddenly shrank violently, which was hard to accept for a moment. Although Saiyans are not good at expressing their feelings, Nappa has grown up watching Vegeta after all. Even if Vegeta kills him in the future, Nappa can't help but be moved at this moment. Just when Nappa was about to say something, Vegeta spoke first. No need to say anything. If Kakarot can kill Frisia, even if I die, what can I do? Vegeta's whole body tensed up, his fists suddenly clenched, and his eyes stared at the screen. Although his expression didn't show much reaction at the moment, his heart couldn't help but start. Kill Frisia and avenge the Saiyans. Kakarot, let me see your power as the legendary Super Saiyan. Taking stock of the people in the world, starting with the fate of the country. Author, Red Lotus. Chapter 114. In the picture, invisible power surges between Goku and Frisia. In the entire area, there is only the sound of howling wind. At this moment, all words are no longer important. The momentum of Goku is rising steadily. In the world of heavens, countless spectators couldn't help but become nervous. Boom! As soon as he stepped on the ground, the terrifying power caused the ground to dent, and the entire area could not help but shake. Goku's body tore through the atmosphere like an offline arrow and rushed straight towards Frisia's location. Without any hesitation, Goku punched out suddenly, and Frisia did the same in an instant. Boom! Terrifying power vibrated out in mid-air, and the strong wind of the fist instantly blasted away the air behind Frisia. Call out. As the huge dust mist rose, the two bodies disappeared at the same time. Boom boom boom. The fists and shadows intertwined, the ground cracked, and the two bodies collided with each other in mid-air. In the blink of an eye, they did not know how many rounds they fought. The terrifying aftermath swept out, the ground began to shake, and the sky became violent. The discoloration. Boom. Every fist and kick exchange between the two sides erupted with power that shocked the heavens and the world, making some strong men who tried to catch up with them look ashen as death. The battle has clearly just begun, but the powerful strength displayed by the two people makes them reach a point that they cannot reach anyway. They are as far away as the gods and the mortals on the land. Looking at Gaku's falling figure, Frisia sneered, and then suddenly blasted out a terrifying purple light wave with his hands. Seeing the purple light wave attacking, Wukong's face couldn't help but change. Then he put his hands on the ground and used Qigong waves to keep his body away from the range of the light wave. Boom! Terrifying heat waves spewed out from the surface, and powerful air waves like mushroom clouds swept out continuously. The whole world couldn't help but turn into fiery red at this moment. Huge explosions resounded in the sky. What seemed like ordinary attacks had devastating effects. Earth-like power. This kind of attack was completely out of the same dimension as the previous figures. Countless spectators couldn't help but feel palpitations. Before they could say anything, Wukong's body was covered by smoke. Whoosh! Frisia looked at Gaku's figure, countless light waves shot out from his eyes, trying to kill Gaku. Continuously dodging Frisia's attacks, Gaku realizes that Frisia doesn't know how to know the opponent's position through ki. Outside the field, Piccolo and others were affected by the aftermath to varying degrees. Looking at the huge dust mist rising in the field, everyone's faces were horrified. Located in the huge thick fog, the figures of Gaku and Frisia were covered by black clouds and disappeared from everyone's sight, but the shaking words and the sounds of fighting that resounded between heaven and earth were continuous. Everyone in the world knows that the battle is not over yet. Looking at the scene like a battle between gods and immortals in a fairy tale, countless strong men in various worlds were horrified. What kind of power is this? Being able to fight against such a powerful opponent as Frisia, is this the power of a Super Saiyan? Oh my god, it's so unimaginable that such an earth-shattering battle scene would appear in front of us. Countless long-famous beings in the low martial arts world and even in the high martial arts world and the fantasy world couldn't help but exclaimed. Even if they work hard for several lifetimes, they can't reach their level with such power. But this scene also made many the audience supporting Kakarot was excited. At this moment, no one had any doubts. That's it, fight, I'm already on fire. In the fairy tale world, Natsu's blood is boiling, the flames on his body are extremely hot, and a powerful fighting spirit is constantly emerging. Burn your little universe, Kakarot. In the world of Saint Seiya, Pegasus Saint Seiya couldn't help shouting, and the small universe in his body continued to burst out with powerful power. Go ahead, you can definitely do it, do what you say, this is your Nindo. In the world of Naruto, Naruto and his group couldn't help shouting. Art, this is real art. In the Akatsuki organization, Deidara couldn't help but scream. Inheriting Vegeta's dignity and pride, coupled with everyone's hope, this bond is something you will never be able to experience. Frisia, in the world of pirates, Luffy couldn't help but clenched his fists and shouted with great passion. That's it, kill Frisia and you will become the legendary Super Saiyan. In the Marvel world, the superheroes headed by Tony shouted excitedly. This is the legendary Super Saiyan. Although his appearance has not changed much, his combat power is comparable to that of Frisia. In the Shinigami world, Aizen, who was in Hueco Mundo, couldn't help but stand up. Spiritual pressure was constantly flowing out of his body, and the enthusiasm in his eyes was clearly visible. Impossible, a lowly Saiyan warrior actually has power that can rival me, even if I haven't used my full strength yet. In the world of Dragon Ball, Frieza's expression is full of wonder. How, what happened? That lowly Saiyan was able to fight Lord Frieza to such an extent. Besides, the expressions of Team Jinyu and others were also extremely horrified. A kind of fear spread among the Frieza Legion, and everyone's face was full of disbelief. At the same time, Vegeta and others in the spaceship Nappa and Naba continued to laugh wildly. Ha 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 ha, well done Kakarot, just knocked down Frieza in one go. Although he is not the same as the legendary blonde warrior, with this kind of fighting power, Kakarot is undoubtedly a Super Saiyan. The expression on Nappa's face was extremely exciting, and even the mood after Vegeta's death suddenly became more comfortable. To read Bao's Huang novels, go to Fila Novel Network. At this moment, the two of them were extremely excited. The legend of the Saiyans is not that serious. After all, so many years have passed. It is normal for the legend to have some deviations. As long as Kakarot has this kind of combat power, it is enough. On the other side, Krillin is above the earth. The others were also extremely excited, and their confidence in Goku suddenly skyrocketed. However, unlike their excited appearance, Goku on North Kaio looked extremely solemn. Because he could feel that Frieza was the guy didn't use all his strength, and he didn't use all his strength. It's not an exaggeration to say that the two of them were having fun. The Saiyans are such a powerful race. They are actually able to fight Frieza, which should not be underestimated. It's interesting, looking at the fight between the two, Beerus's face looked calmer than ever. Whether it's Frieza or Goku, even if they don't use their full strength at this moment, there is not much difference in front of him. In the picture, the battle between Goku and Frieza has temporarily come to an end. They are back to back, and their figures are still upright, not looking tired at all. As the smoke dissipated, under the shocked eyes of countless people in the world, the two people were standing on the stone pillars standing in the huge pit. The ground that was originally a huge mountain now only had a foothold under their feet. Land. Is this a Saiyan too? Looking at the disappearing land on the ground, Frieza's face was full of shock. From the past to the present, countless stupid Saiyans, overconfident in their own power, rose up against me, but they are so powerful. I've never met a Saiyan before. As the stone pillar shattered, Goku's body fell to the ground, but Frieza's figure disappeared from everyone's eyes. The next moment, Frieza's body suddenly appeared in mid-air in the pool, and then a moment later, a powerful purple light wave bombarded Wukong in an instant. Boom! Stretching out his hands, Wukong tightly held the light wave of F227, and then his body involuntarily hit the mountain top, terrifying the power caused the mountain to collapse instantly. Realizing that it was not easy to catch the light wave by force, Wukong pushed his hands upward, pushing the light wave into the air. However, Frieza did not stop at all because of Wukong's movements. Countless rays were blasted out continuously, and the whole earth began to shake continuously, like a magnitude 12 earthquake. Boom! On the ground, the volcano's magma soaring into the sky continued to emerge, like a scene of destruction. Now in everyone's eyes, amid Frieza's constant attacks, Wukong's body fell into the lava with the worried eyes of countless people. However, when the smoke dissipated, Wukong's figure reappeared in front of everyone in his eyes. The erupting volcano was also stopped. You are a little stronger than I expected. To be honest, I was surprised. I never thought that there was someone stronger than Captain Jinyu in the world. Floating in mid-air, Frieza looked at Goku's figure and slowly said, "But you still can't beat me." "Maybe. But the outcome is not certain yet." Looking at Frieza, Goku had a confident smile on his face. After a verbal spat, the two bodies fought together again. For a moment, the mountains collapsed and the earth was torn apart. The sun and the moon were pale, and the earth, mountains, and rivers could not stop. It was boiling, and the whole area was in endless turmoil. Finally, after some operations that looked as fierce as a tiger and caused 0.5 damage, the two men's bodies were suspended in mid-air again. The warm-up exercises have been completed, and it's almost time to show off your true strength. Clenching his fists, Frisia had a faint smile on his face. Well, me too. Wukong smiled and nodded. There was no surprise on Wukong's face. However, the words of the two shocked countless beings in the world. Taking stock of the people in the world, starting with the fate of the country. Author, Red Lotus. Chapter 115. What, in such a terrifying battle, you actually told me that these two people haven't used their full strength yet? Impossible, absolutely impossible, the two of them must be joking. Damn it, I don't believe it, how is this possible? I have worked hard for most of my life, and finally I am 1% as good as them, and now you actually tell me that you are playing, it is so infuriating. I am the most powerful God King in the God realm, but I am not even as strong as the two of them when they are not serious. This is really disappointing. Woohoo, I thought Do Emperor was my goal, but now it seems like even Do Emperor, so what? Hey guys, I'm already on fire, and you're still just doing warm-up exercises. Woohoo, what kind of warm-up exercise? Why is this different from my warm-up exercise? It's just a fight between ants, just some fancy moves? This kind of ability can reach the 4th place. I really can't imagine where the author's vision is. In the barrage, countless people were shocked. In their eyes, the devastating battle was just a warm-up exercise. Of course, in front of some big bosses, all this was just child's play. What, the two of them haven't used their full strength yet? In the Dragon Ball world, Vegeta and Krillin and others on Earth were also shocked. You must know that this level of battle is far beyond their imagination, but these two people have not yet used their full strength. It's really terrifying. In the picture, as Wukong's words fell, the entire Namekian sky began to tremble violently, and the auras of the two people suddenly increased a lot, with an extremely tyrannical wave. A sense of oppression enveloped the entire world. Boom. At this moment, the bodies of all the powerful men in the world could not help but tremble. Even those in the world of high martial arts who had already stood at the peak looked horrified at this moment. At this moment, everyone realized that the two were not joking, they were really just doing warm-up exercises. In the picture, the violent wind roared continuously, and Goku and Frisia's momentum seemed to have reached its peak. Boom. As Wukong stepped forward, the ground instantly sank into a huge pit. Terrifying air waves exploded around Wukong. White air flames enveloped his body. Wukong's body reached Frisia's side like a cannonball in an instant. In front of him. Boo-hoo-hoo. Without the slightest hesitation, Goku kept swinging his fists. In less than a second, thousands of attacks had arrived in front of Frisia. Bang 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 bang. The figures of both sides were blurred. Every blow from Wukong caused the earth to tremble violently. Terrifying hurricanes continued to sweep out. The powerful aftermath caused the surrounding environment to continuously change. Countless gravels turned into powder and dissipated in the air. Between heaven and earth. However, unlike the previous situation, each of Wukong's punches was extremely sharp, and the terrifying speed caused the sonic booms around him to explode continuously, but Frisia's figure was always 1 point faster than him. No matter how he attacked or what moves he used, Frisia had his hands behind his back and avoided all his attacks. And this scene shocked the world, and an unprecedented fear continued to spread in their hearts. You know, Goku is a legendary warrior, and now he has exploded with more powerful power, but he is still suppressed by Frisia. Your speed is too slow. Continuously dodging Goku's attacks, Frisia's face was filled with a sneer. The next moment. Bang! In Goku's incredible eyes, Frisia's tail hit him hard in the face. This time it's left, right, left. In the sound of Frisia's words, Wukong was continuously slapped by Frisia's tail. The terrifying power made countless people in the world feel frightened, and Wukong's miserable screams spread throughout the world. Boundary. With the last shot, Wukong's body rushed towards the distant mountain peak like a cannonball. Finally, just as he was about to hit the mountain, Wukong did a few somersaults with his hands and landed on the mountain. Then, the bodies of the two collided together again. The terrifying power caused the air to be blown away continuously, huge thick fog continued to rise, and strong sounds of fighting continued to be heard. As the final aftermath came out, Gaku in the smoke was tightly wrapped around Frisia's tail around his neck. In Gaku's roar, Frisia's wild laughter spread throughout the world. The sudden and overwhelming strength shocked all the spectators who supported Wukong, as if they were wearing thin clothes in the cold winter, feeling cold from head to toe. How so? Countless people trembled involuntarily, and their souls felt terrified. They were so excited before, but now they feel so uncomfortable. In just a few minutes, he actually fell into such a desperate situation. Could it be that even a Super Saiyan couldn't defeat Frisia? In the world of Dragon Ball, Nappa's face is full of horror, and his expression is completely different from before. Come on Kakarot, you haven't lost yet, defeat him. Besides. The veins on Vegeta's forehead popped out, and then he said, you are a legendary warrior, how could you lose like this? In the depths of the universe, Frisia's expression finally warmed up a little, and the corners of his mouth raised slightly. It's just a wild monkey, and it actually requires this king to take it seriously. It's really a shame and a shame. In the scene, Gaku, who was screaming, suddenly bit Frisia's tail, causing the painful Frisia to retract the tail that trapped Gaku. Seeing this, Gaku also attacked Frisia again. All the usable parts of his body were continuously blasted towards Frisia. Finally, as if he couldn't bear Gaku's attack anymore, Frisia suddenly punched out, knocking Gaku's body away hard. How about it? Interested in working for me? After all, you have good abilities. It would be a pity to kill you. With your abilities as strong as yours, you will serve me better than Captain Jinyu. Looking at Gaku standing up, Frisia felt a desire to recruit him. Stop laughing at other people's teeth. Do you think I will accept your proposal? With a sneer, Wukong slowly spoke. I knew you would say this a long time ago. Yusian people are born to be stubborn, like stubborn donkeys, so don't blame me for only giving you one way, then die. To read Bao's Huang novels, go to Filu Novel Network. As he finished speaking, Frisia's body disappeared from the place and launched his first attack on Gaku. Boom boom boom. Frisia's hands kept moving. The terrifying speed of the bombardment filled the air with the afterimages of Frisia's hands. The terrifying power caused Wukong to fall into a disadvantage in an instant, and he continued to passively withstand Frisia's attacks. As the final blow was blasted, Wukong's body was instantly blasted into the pool. Just when everyone thought Wukong was about to lose, in everyone's shocked eyes, Wukong's figure broke through the water and appeared in mid-air. For the future of Gohan, Chi-Chi, the Earth, and all the Namekians, I will never lose to you. 20 times the Kaio fist. As Wukong finished speaking, the originally depressed aura was swept away. A red aura exploded with his body as the center. The extremely powerful aura instantly spread across the entire land, even more powerful than the previous aura. Several times. As the earth-shattering roar came out, the terrifying hurricane continued to sweep out, the color of the world began to change, the earth began to tremble violently, and the terrifying aftermath continued to surround the surroundings. Everything swept away. Call out. Gaku's body suddenly disappeared from the spot, and his body appeared in front of Frisia like lightning. Without any hesitation, Gaku used all his strength to punch out. The terrifying power and speed made Frisia stunned. Boom! The terrifying power instantly caused Frisia's body to fly backwards, but Gaku's body did not stop at all and continued to rush towards Frisia. Turtle-style Kigong blowed Frisia away again. A terrifying blue energy continued to condense in Gaku's palms. The next moment, boom! The terrifying turtle-style Kigong wave tore through the atmosphere, and the incomparable power penetrated directly. The terrifying power of the void shocked even countless beings in the world. Without the slightest surprise, the turtle school Kigong instantly hit Frisia's body, and the terrifying power exploded instantly, and the earth-shattering explosion spread throughout the entire world. Meek-synced blazing fire swept out instantly. Endless hurricanes continued to sweep out, and the powerful aftermath made the entire land tremble continuously, and countless gravels continued to fall from the sky. As the smoke dissipated, Frisia's body appeared in everyone's eyes, looking miserable, but there were no fatal injuries. Damn monster! Looking at Frisia's appearance without much damage, Wukong's expression became extremely heavy. And this is also the voice of everyone in the world. The power of the turtle-style Kigong just hit has far surpassed Frisia's move that destroyed the planet, Mono Zhao, but Frisia's direct hit with this move did not cause much damage. This is really disappointing. This kind of strength cannot be defeated by Xians at all, right? In the world of pirates, Nami seems to be talking in a dream. Kakarot, are you going to lose? In the world of Naruto, Senju Hashirama, who is in the belly of the ghoul, couldn't help but murmur to himself. The legendary warrior, Super Saiyan, is obviously extremely powerful, but his opponent is Frisia. In the world of pirates, the red-haired man's expression was extremely heavy, and his whole body began to tremble involuntarily. This is obviously an earth-shattering showdown, but why do I feel so uncomfortable? In the world of death, Zaraki Kenpaku's face is extremely complicated. Even the Super Saiyan's all-out attack couldn't do much damage to Frisia. In the Dragon Ball world, Vegeta and Nappa's bodies began to shake violently, and traces of blood flowed from their clenched fists. It was obvious that they had just seen hope, but now they sank to the bottom in an instant. Frisia, the huge gap in power between them and Gaku made them feel extremely desperate. On the earth, everyone's faces were full of disbelief. It was clear that Gaku in the future was already that powerful, but he was still no match for Frisia. Could it be that Frisia really is soon already invincible in the universe? Is there no one in this world who can defeat him? You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Taking stock of the people in the world, starting with the fate of the country. Author, Red Lotus. Chapter 116. Unlike the audience who supported Kakarot, the presence on Frisia's side was like celebrating the new year, and everyone was excited. In the world of Demon Slayer, Demon Dancer Muzan and 12 Demons Moon looked extremely excited, and the fallen princess's face was even more flushed, and she murmured to herself, it would be great if I could be under Frisia-sama's command, this way I might get a little bit of Frisia-sama's blood. Is Frisia the ultimate evolved being, the end of the evolutionary path for all creatures in the universe? In the Sui Palace of the God of Death, Aizen couldn't help but collapsed on the throne. The expression on his face was extremely shocking. Sure enough, this character inventory is the same as Barya Aizen's video, except this time it's the defeat of a decent character. In the world of One Punch Man, the Hungry Wolf's face is full of excitement. Located deep in the universe, Frisia's face is a little ugly. After all, he suffered a lot of damage in the video, but after thinking about it, he is relieved. Got it? Oh he, now you know how powerful I am. It's ridiculous for a mere Saiyan monkey to even try to defeat me. In the baby ship, Frisia's laughter spread throughout the ship. That's right, Lord Frisia is the overlord of the universe. How could he be defeated by a Saiyan monkey? Sobel, Team Jinyu and others also echoed. Just now, they almost thought that Frisia would be killed by this move. The sweat on his back had already soaked through the suit. Fortunately, the smoke dissipated. Going to Frisia didn't cause much damage, otherwise they would have to find another way out. In the picture, Frisia's face was obviously unhappy, and he looked at his palms in disbelief. You know this is the first time someone has made him so embarrassed. It hurts, you know. As Frisia's voice fell, a white flame exploded all around him. Then the figure disappeared in mid-air and rushed towards Gaku's 880 position. Bang! Without the slightest hesitation, Frisia suddenly his feet shot out, and the terrifying force caused Wukong's body to turn several somersaults on the ground. Stinky monkey, where did your prestige go? Getting close to him, Frisia grabbed Gaku's collar with a mocking look on his face. Bang 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 bang. Looking at Gaku's embarrassed appearance, Frisia's fists poured into Wukong without any pause. On top of his body, Wukong, who was no longer in the Kaiofist state, was beaten until he was spitting out blood. From the sky to the ground, dozens of mountain peaks were shattered, and he was played with like a rag doll. The world of the heavens, I don't know how many people's eyes showed pain at this time, and how many people even closed their eyes. However, the picture of the inventory video was directly displayed in their midst, and even if they didn't want to watch it, they had to continue. Keep reading. Is the inventory video coming to an end? Is there no hope for Kakarot at all? Stop fighting, give him a good time. Gaku has done very well, but at this moment, most people would not even have the courage to fight Frisia. Super Saiyan is already powerful enough. After all, his opponent is the Emperor of the universe. To be able to fight him to this point means that Kakarot is already at the pinnacle of the universe. This battle is worth remembering by all of us. We will never forget, this is a rare battle in ancient and modern times. In all the worlds, many people's faces are full of despair, and their eyes are filled with grief and anger. They seem to have concluded that Gaku cannot defeat Frisia. In the picture, Frisia blasts Gaku's body away again, then he put his hands on his hips and looked at Wukong, who was struggling to get up, with a sneer on his face, and said, "What's wrong? Did the action just now use up all your strength? It was so boring. At first, I thought I had finally met an opponent that would allow me to fight more seriously." While walking towards the direction of Gaku, Frisia continued, Usians are indeed low-level creatures with no talents except foolhardiness. There is no exception. Everyone is a stupid donkey. Being eliminated by me in advance can be regarded as my foresight. Wukong looked over with difficulty. His left eye could not be opened due to the serious injury. There was no scar on his body. In a daze, Vegeta's voice came from his mind. "Kakarot, you are so disappointing. Is that all your strength is? Where did you leave your Saiyan dignity? Whether you admit it or not, you are an out-and-out Saiyan, with the fighting nation and the warlike blood of Saiyans flowing in your body. Use your Saiyan hands to kill Frisia." Looking at Gaku, whose eyes were full of determination again, Frisia's eyes showed a hint of surprise. After an unnecessary quarrel, the two bodies fought together again, and terrifying sounds of fighting continued to be heard. However, even with Vegeta's encouragement, Wukong was still at the end of his strength. After more than 10 seconds, Wukong's body was knocked to the ground again by Frisia. The terrifying force made the earth sink into a huge pit. Hole. Bang 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 bang. Looking at Gaku, who wanted to stand up, Frisia slowly raised his right hand, and then continued to use invisible shock waves to bombard Wukong's body. Every blow blasted out Wukong's body trembled violently, and screams continued to sound. As the last attack fell, Wukong's body fell to the ground again. "You have no power to fight back. Do you want to start begging for death?" Looking at the scarred Gaku, who slowly stood up again, Frisia's cold laughter spread throughout the world. He tilted his head slightly, and then Frisia said, "Okay. I will free you. And this scene also filled the eyes of countless viewers in the world with despair. Damn Frieza, even though Goku is so powerful, he still can't defeat Frieza. In the world of pirates, Wang Luffy couldn't help but roared. Why is there such a powerful demon in the universe? In the world of Naruto, Sakura's voice is full of despair. Wukong, he has tried his best. In the world of Fairy Tail, Lucy couldn't help crying. Many people on Goku's side have begun to despair, but the villains from all over the world can't help laughing. To read exciting novels, go to Fila Novel Network. It's such an enjoyable battle. Ravage Kakarot to your heart's content. Frieza-sama, in the Fate world, Koto Mine Kaire's face is full of excitement. Ha ha ha, thief, it is true that strength is king, and the Super Saiyan is just an existence in name only. In the pirate world, Blackbeard drank the wine in his hand with a very excited expression. That's right, that's it, kill Kakarot completely. In the world of death, Yami stared at the scene with his eyes, for fear of missing something. In the picture, just when everyone thought Kakarot stood up and tried to make a final struggle, he had no choice. Instead of taking action, he raised his hands high towards the sky. For a moment, the scene fell into silence, with only the sound of the howling wind around, and everyone couldn't help but be stunned. After a while, someone reacted. When Goku defeated Vegeta before, he also used this move. It seems to be called a Vitality Bomb. What's this? What is he doing? Looking at Goku's actions, Frieza's face was full of astonishment. Unlike Frieza in the picture, Frieza who was watching the video clearly knew Goku's intentions and couldn't help but shout, "Stop him quickly. Don't let him use that move." However, it was obvious that his voice could not reach his own ears in the video. In the eyes of everyone, Wukong's breathing continued to spread throughout the world. Soon, the entire Namek began to have a kind of vibrating regularly. Bits of starlight constantly fly up from rivers, mountains, flowers, trees, birds, and beasts, converging in the direction of Goku. If you only absorb the energy of this planet, you will not be able to defeat Frieza. A planet near Namek. Even a little bit would be fine. Share your vitality with me. Buzz. As Wukong's inner voice sounded, dense points of light continued to gather. In the sky above Wukong's head, a blue energy ball exuded pure and flawless fluctuations, like a newly born baby, interacting with everything in the world. Resonate. Not only that, as the camera zoomed up, people in all the world saw the strange plants and reptiles on the nearby planet, with starlight flying around them, quickly converging towards Namek. Knowing that Wukong wanted to use the Vitality Bomb, many viewers in the world were also worried. You know, it takes a long time to accumulate energy bombs. Is it really possible for Frieza to wait that long? As time goes by, countless stars continue to gather in the sky, and their diameter seems to be a full 50 kilometers. And as time goes by, the vitality bombs continue to grow, and large groups of vitality in the universe are also rushing to Namek. What's wrong with you? Do you want to do something? Or are you raising your hands a sign of surrender? Looking at Goku's movements, Frieza obviously didn't notice the energy bomb in the sky, and the expression on his face was full of joking. After a moment, Frieza's face was finally full of impatience. It's been so long. How long do you want to play? Who knows, when will it be? Looking at Frieza's expression, Goku couldn't help but smile bitterly. Hateful. Frieza's face was full of anger, and then he kicked out suddenly, kicking Wukong's body away hard. As Frieza continued to attack, Wukong still stood up again and again, maintaining his position. With his hands raised in the air, Frieza finally found the energy bullet in the sky in the pool. What is that? Looking at the huge energy bomb in the sky, Frieza's face was full of astonishment. Is it possible? Is that a collection of energy? After discovering Goku's conspiracy, just when Frieza wanted to kill Goku, Piccolo and others rushed over instantly and blasted Frieza's body away. However, even if Piccolo and the others fought to their death, he delayed, trying to buy time for Wukong to accumulate vitality bombs, but he only got a few minutes. Taking stock of the people in the world, starting with the fate of the country. Author, Red Lotus. Chapter 117. I really can't bear it anymore. I want to turn you guys into the garbage of the universe together with this planet. Amidst the howling wind, Frisia's forehead veins popped out, and he roared with a ferocious expression. Phew! As his body continued to rise, Frisia stretched out a finger, and a black energy ball with lightning suddenly gathered out. Frightening power swept through the world at this moment. Countless people began to tremble involuntarily. This scene was so similar to Frisia's destruction of planet Vegeta that their hearts began to get nervous. In the Dragon Ball world, Becky, the faces of Vegeta and Nappa were ashen, and their eyes were full of despair. It was over, everything was over. Unexpectedly, Kakarot became the legendary Super Saiyan and could not defeat Frieza. In the picture, as the black energy bullets at Frisia's fingertips rapidly expanded, aura of destruction spread rapidly, and numbing dark red lightning flashed on the surface of the energy balls. As Frisia's body continuously approaching the energy bomb in the sky, Goku on the ground finally waved his hands downwards at Piccolo's urging. The next moment, Frisia's body stopped in mid-air, his face full of astonishment. A wave of the energy that made him feel frightened continued to come from above. Under the attention of countless powerful people from all major dimensions, Chi bombs with a diameter of 50 kilometers fell instantly in the sky. At the same time, from the universe the collected majestic vitality was instantly integrated into the vitality bomb. The blue energy ball suddenly expanded, and its volume instantly expanded several times again, dazzling like a bright blue planet. The sky shook, and as Wukong moved with a roar, the huge vitality bomb also fell towards Frisia's head. Bad, oh no. Looking at the energy bombs falling behind him, Frisia's face was full of fear. The black energy bombs that were originally floating in the air were instantly crushed by the energy bombs. The huge energy bombs continued to move towards his body. Falling down, the bright light illuminated the entire land, and a terrifying aura enveloped it in an instant. I'm not afraid of this thing. Frieza raised his hands, realizing that he couldn't avoid it, and tried to catch the energy bomb with a ferocious expression. Under the shocked eyes of countless spectators in the world, Frieza's veins popped out all over his body, his teeth were gritted, and a powerful aura spurted out from his body, fighting against the huge energy bomb. However, even with all his strength exploding, Frieza's body was still falling downwards under the shocking pressure of the energy bombs. At this moment, the river began to roar continuously, rocks continued to fall, and hurricanes like 20-level winds continued to sweep across the earth. The entire sky began to tremble violently, the sky and the earth suddenly lost color, and the entire earth continued to tremble. Countless rays are spreading out like cracks in the abyss. Frieza held the vitality bomb tightly with his hands and ears, his eyes were filled with bloodshot eyes, and he kept roaring in his heart, trying his best to stop the vitality bomb from falling. Behind Frieza, the originally huge river was constantly blown away like the impact of vitality bombs at this moment, revealing the earth at the bottom of the river at a glance. However, how could Frieza be able to withstand the extremely powerful power of this vitality bomb, which was condensed from the vitality of countless beings on Namek and the surrounding star fields? As the vitality bomb fell, the entire land erupted with an unprecedented white light. All viewers watching the video seemed to be illuminated by thousands of flash bombs at the same time, and almost became blind. Boom 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 boom. In an instant, everything was reduced to ashes, the sky was suppressed, and the earth was mourning. In the unbelievable eyes of all the powerful men in the world, Frieza's body was covered by the bright light on the spot. The camera turned and the scene was in space. From the perspective of space, the entire Namek planet was blasted with a huge hole by the terrifying energy bomb, the crust was completely penetrated, and even the core of the planet entered the stage of destruction at this moment. At this moment, the whole world seemed to be quiet. Countless people watching the video also became silent, and the world fell into a dead silence. I don't know how many people's pupils began to shrink violently, and they were stunned at this moment. They didn't expect that things would develop in this direction, that Frisia would die like this. No. No, Frisia died just like that. No matter what, I can't imagine this ending. I must be dreaming. Who can give me a slap to wake me up? Countless spectators in the world were shocked by the scene at this moment, and their whole bodies began to tremble, as if they were frozen. Everything was so unreal. They could not imagine that this battle would turn out to be. This kind of ending is really incredible. In the world of Dragon Ball, a huge sense of joy came to Vegeta Nappa, as well as Krillin and others on the earth. Before the scene just happened, the world of the heavens, countless people on Wukong's side were already prepared for Kakarot to be defeated and killed. Many emotional people even cried out and mourned for Wukong, and some were on the barrage greetings to Frisia. Those who supported Frisia were extremely excited, feeling that justice was no match for powerful strength. However, as the huge energy bomb fell from the sky, almost everyone was stunned. Not only those who sided with Frisia, but also those who sided with Sun Wukong were confused. Frisia, is he really dead? With one finger of explosion, Frisia, the overlord of the universe, died like this. It's unbelievable that it would end like this. This pisses me off. Does this Frisia fight without any brains in addition to his great strength? Why not just kill Kakarot? What are you pretending to be there? Damn Frisia! How could this happen? This is impossible. I won't believe it. Ha ha ha, well done Kakarot, well done. I have to say that villains die because they talk too much, so please remember this. To read exciting novels, go to Fila Novel Network. Oh, I'm on fire. After all, it is still a farce, and it is simply an insult to our intelligence. I really can't stand it. There is someone as stupid as Frisia. On the screen, countless barrages passed by. Some people were cheering, while others couldn't help but greet Frisia. You know, no one with brains would welcome this move, let alone Wukong will not be allowed to gather energy bombs. At the same time, in the picture, Piccolo struggled to drag Goku from the water to the shore, and Krillin and Gohan had smiles on their faces as they survived the disaster. Go home, I want to take the spaceship I built. There should be a way to return to the Earth. With Krillin's support, Goku had a faint smile on his face. Gohan on the side also jumped up happily, looking forward to seeing his mother again. Hearing the laughter coming from the screen, many viewers also he gradually came back to his senses, with a faint smile on his face, but some people felt something was wrong. After all, it all happened too fast. Zero, please give flowers. According to the truth, Frisia would not be so careless no matter what he did. Just got killed. Soon, they knew the answer. As laughter continued to spread from several people, Klin's expression suddenly changed, as if he had seen something incredible, and his whole body began to tremble violently involuntarily. What's wrong with you, Clym? Looking at Klin's appearance, Wukong's face was full of confusion. Then several people's eyes turned to the direction where Klin was looking. Then their expressions suddenly changed, their eyes suddenly shrank, and their whole bodies began to tremble involuntarily. It was as if he had seen something terrible. As the camera went on, a breathtaking picture was once again displayed in front of everyone in the world. On the rocks in the distance, Frisia's figure suddenly appeared above. His body was covered in scars, he was breathing heavily, the water stains on his body had not completely drained away, and his left eye was even more injured, and he couldn't open his eyes for a while. However, even though Frisia was covered in scars, but the aura he exuded did not weaken at all. At this moment, Countless viewers felt extremely horrified, feeling that their souls were about to leave the body and fly into the air at this moment. How can this be? After being hit by such a terrifying energy bomb, Frisia is still not dead. In the disbelief eyes of countless powerful people in the world, Frisia slowly raised a finger and pointed it at Gaku and his party. Buzz! A scarlet light wave instantly blasted from Frisia's fingertips. Shooting out, the terrifying power caused the ground along the way to crack, exuding a powerful force and rushing towards Wukong's direction. Just before the light wave was about to hit Wukong, Piccolo yelled, and then his body suddenly knocked Wukong away. However, this light wave did not pause at all, and instantly penetrated Piccolo's heart, causing Piccolo to fall to the ground on the spot, and no more movement was heard. Looking at this scene, Wukong's face suddenly changed color, and when Gaku asked Krillin, Gohan and others to escape from Namek, Frisia looked at the group with a ferocious expression and said, "Do you think I will let you escape? I'm going to kill every one of you." As the words fell, and Gohan shouted, Krillin's body was suspended in mid-air on the spot, flying into the sky uncontrollably with Frisia's movements. "Frisia, stop it!" With Gaku's roar of grief and anger, Frisia gritted his teeth and looked at Krillin, and then suddenly clenched his right hand. Boom! With Krillin's cry, his body exploded instantly and turned into a ball of blood mist. It continued to spread in all directions in the sky. Feeling Frisia's heart-stopping terrifying power, countless spectators in the world who supported Gaku turned pale and slumped to the ground on the spot, while those who supported Frisia laughed wildly again. In the picture, Wukong's body began to tremble violently involuntarily, and his face was filled with an expression of disbelief. An angry emotion instantly spread throughout his body without warning and reached Tianling Gai. Witnessing the deaths of Piccolo and Krillin one after another, at this moment, an invisible shackle seemed to be broken in Wukong's body, and the overwhelming anger continued to vent in his body, rushing up and down his body, and endless powerful power continued to spurt out. No. Unforgivable, he actually took Xiaolin, begging.